I have said that Ronan Williams, South African goalkeeper, is my favorite to win the 2024 African Football of the Year. But let me tell you why I think he's my favorite. So I'm going to analyze and tell you why I think he's my favorite. All right, so let's get straight into it. First of all, these are the 5 players who are selected for the African Football of the Year. And 2024 is the year we played the AFCON. So, in my opinion, if you are judging the best player in Africa, the player should have at least performed at least above average at the AFCON, because the AFCON is the biggest competition in Africa. So the first player nominated, Seho Girassi, I think he's the best striker in Africa right now and one of the best strikers in the world. But at the AFCON, he started only one game. Only one game. I don't think that is enough for him to be crowned the African Footballer of the Year, especially in a year where the AFCON was played. So he's out of the list for me. Also, Ashraf Hakimi, I think he's one of the best defenders in the world, the best defender in Africa by far, and one of the best in the world. But also at the AFCON, he was great, excellent in the group stages, but then Morocco didn't advance beyond the round 16. They were stopped there and there. So I don't think he really had that much of an impact at the AFCON. And since it's an AFCON year, he's out of the list for me too. Then there is Simon Adingra, who had an incredible AFCON, 2 assists in the final, and he was the best young player of the competition. But that was the highlight of his season. You wouldn't remember any other thing about him again because he had a quiet club side with his team, Brighton. So that's it for me there. I don't think he's going to win the African Football of the Year. This now leaves us with 2 players. That is Ademola Lookman of Nigeria, then Ronan Williams of South Africa. And I think these are my 2 favorites. These are the 2 front runners to win the award. And it's a tight one for me. I think any of these 2 can actually win it. But I have a favorite who I think, based on each of their performances of these 2 players, Williams is the favorite based on individual performances. So I'm going to tell you why he's the favorite. Let me first get into Ademola Lookman. So he had an incredible AFCON. Incredible AFCON. He won silver with Nigeria at the AFCON. He was also named in the team of the tournament. And getting into the nitty-gritties of his performance at the AFCON, in the round 16 stage, that was when Cameroon faced against Nigeria. He scored 2 goals in that game, 2 goals, which actually led Nigeria straight into the quarterfinal. And then in the quarterfinal too, he was the man to score the only goal in the game against Angola. So essentially, he was the man who single-handedly drove Nigeria from the round 16 stage. He single-handedly drove Nigeria from the quarterfinal stage into the semi-final. So, I mean, he was really that influential for Nigeria, eventually going to win the silver at the AFCON. And he was fairly played in the team of the tournament. At club side too with Atlanta, I think the highlights of his club side was that is in the UEFA Europa League, where he won the trophy and scored a hat-trick in the final. That was super impressive, really impressive of Lookman, scoring a hat-trick in the UEFA Europa League final. And he's been quite consistent throughout, even to this season, scoring, I think, 13 goals and about 6 assists in all competition. That is super, super impressive of the Nigerian player. I think he's one of the best players in Africa. If this wasn't an AFCON year, if we hadn't played the AFCON this year, I think he would have easily won the African Football of the Year. But based on the AFCON, I think there's another candidate who also rubbed shoulders with him, and that's Ronan Williams from South Africa. So Williams was the captain of South Africa at the 2024 AFCON when they won the bronze medal. And this bronze medal was South Africa's first medal in 24 years. So in 24 years, this was the first time South Africa were winning a medal. And it was led by Ronan Williams, who was the captain. At the AFCON, he made the most saves of the entire competition. He also kept the most clean sheets in the whole of the AFCON and was named the goalkeeper of the tournament. He also appeared in the team of the tournament of the AFCON. But for me, what was much more impressive was his actual performance in the competition. So, when a striker scores a goal, I mean, it carries a lot of weight. So when a goalkeeper makes a save that he's not expected to make, like let's say saving a penalty, I think we can equate it to a striker scoring a goal. And in the AFCON, Williams made six penalty saves. So that is like him scoring 6 goals at the AFCON. Aside the penalty saves, he made some very crazy 1v1 saves, like this save he made against DR Congo. It was a 1v1. The striker was expected to score, had a big advantage to score. But it was Williams who stood firm to make the save. This is also another save against Cape Verde. Williams making another 1v1 save against Cape Verde over here. And then this is also another save, another 1v1. This time it was against Ademola Lookman, the man he's competing with, Ademola Lookman. And Williams stood firm to make the 1v1 save. So if you are calculating all this from the quality of saves he made, that is like Williams scoring at least 9 goals at the AFCON, which would have been super impressive. If a player scored 9 goals at the AFCON, that player would have won the player of the tournament. Very easy. So it was super impressive from Williams. Let's now move to his club side with Mamelodi Sundowns, where he won the African Football League with them the year. And then in the African Football League, he faced two penalties, and he made 2 saves. So saving all the penalties he faced in the African Football League, and also so crucial, making the most clean sheets in the competition. And Sundowns eventually going on to win the African Football League, where Williams was named the goalkeeper of the tournament. With his club side to Mamelodi Sundowns in the South Africa League, which is one of the best leagues in Africa, by the way, they won the league at the end of the season with the most points, or the biggest points tally in the history of the league. And then he kept 15 clean sheets out of 22 games he played over there. That was a lot. He was only 3 shy of the highest clean sheets in the history of the league that season for that is his club Sundowns. Then in the CAF Champions League, he led Sundowns into that is the semi-final of the CAF Champions League. In the competition in total, he faced four penalties, and he made 3 saves. So that was how crucial he was in the competition, leading Sundowns into the semi-final stage of the Champions League, and he made the 3rd most clean sheets in the competition. So on the goalkeeping side, he was always up high in all levels, at all levels, in different competitions he played in the season under review. If a striker really had that much of an influence that Williams had on his country and also his club side, that striker would have won the award. Would have won it very easy. So if a goalkeeper had this amount of influence because he didn't score a goal, we shouldn't give him the award. Or it should be strange if a goalkeeper wins it. I don't think so. So this is why, for me, Ronan Williams is my favorite, because I feel he had a lot more influence on club side. He had a lot more influence on his national team. And for me, in 2024, he is my best African footballer of the year. But you can also tell me your thoughts on this in the comment section.